Thank you very much indeed for watching. This is exclusive content from the World Retail Congress 2017, where I met up with Sharmila Murat. Let's hear what Sharmila has to say. Well, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Perhaps we can start off if you can give us just an overview of what you're responsible for, and then we can delve into some of the depths.
Of course. My name is Sharmila Murat, and I'm the country manager of the UAE for the Shalhoub Group, and I also manage the Saks Fifth Avenue business in Bahrain. And the Shalhoub Group, we are a privately owned, privately held partner of luxury brands in the Middle East. We are operating in 15 countries, and we're actually looking to possibly expand into a new region outside of MENA soon. We are operating retail stores that we either franchise or operate through a joint venture. We also have our own concepts. We have about 650 stores across the region. We also have a distribution business. We are also a partner in an advertising agency with Havas. So this is the business in a nutshell.
So you're probably one of the largest groups that many people around the world actually haven't heard of.
Yes, I think we don't spend a lot of time marketing our brand Shalhoub. We spend more time marketing our partner brands.
So just give us a flavour of the type of sectors that your partner brands are in, because most retailers have a relatively narrow focus. You've got an amazingly broad spread, which is interesting. We'll talk about the challenges of that in a second.
Sure. Well, our focus is luxury and being a partner of luxury brands. And we're the partner of the LVMH brands in the region. We brought Louis Vuitton to the region in the 1980s. We are their joint venture partner. We have joint venture partnerships with a number of the other LVMH brands. We have franchise partnerships across fashion brands, beauty. We're also in the gifting sector. Some of our larger fashion brands include Michael Kors, Lacoste, Carolina Herrera, Celine. In the beauty business, we are the joint venture partner of Sephora, and we also have our own homegrown concept, Wuju. We also have L'Occitane, and we are branching out into the makeup space. In gifts, our original brand is actually Christophe. The company started in 1955, and we're the original partner of Christophe in the region. And now the company has subsequently bought Christophe globally. Now,
a lot of those formats are mall-based here. We've been hearing at the World Retail Congress here in Dubai that the mall business is struggling a little bit. I'd be interested to get your perspective on two things. One of them is just the general economic environment here in the region. And the second thing is the malls. Are they here to stay? Are they a part of a bygone era? Has the markets moved from more physical retail to a combination of physical and digital?
Great question. Well, let's start with the macro question. On a macro basis, the region is really driven by Gulf spending, and the GCC is really driven by oil. Most people here are either directly or indirectly impacted by oil prices. What's been interesting at this conference is to hear American retailers talk about low oil prices correlating with a larger wallet for their consumers, and it's actually the reverse for us.
Yes.
We're waiting for oil prices to
get back to
normal or even higher. I'm old enough to remember days talking of $300 barrel of oil. So if oil prices, if and when it comes back, that's obviously going to help our consumer. But then if you look at the region, Dubai it is a critical retail capital. And within Dubai, the spending is really driven in large part by tourists. At least in our stores, 2/3 of the business is coming from tourism.
And is that tourism within the region, or is that
some of it is
tourism
definitely
globally?
Regional tourism. So often other where people from the Gulf will come to Dubai either for a weekend or for a short holiday, and they spend quite a bit in Dubai. But then we also have tourists from East Asia, the Chinese, from the former Russia, CIS bloc. The Russians historically have been very good spenders in our stores. And all of these parts have had challenges. I mean, the Russians had an economic crisis, a currency crisis in 2014. The Chinese pulled back on spending because of changes in their politics. We also have very good spenders coming out of Africa and out of Southeast Asia. But anybody related to natural resources, that consumer wallet or consumer confidence has dropped. Actually, the one bright spot in our region has been India. India has been growing. But overall, it's been a very tough economy, and retailers are suffering. Most retailers in this part of the world are privately held and don't release numbers, but our belief is that the whole sector is down on a comparable basis.
And the malls where most of these stores are?
Yes, and then within the malls, what we are seeing in terms of the traffic numbers are that traffic into the malls, it's generally down. So it's been very challenging, but the malls are not going away. I mean, the malls for us are our city centers, and this is where we come to congregate, to see and be seen, to have a meal, to have entertainment for our children, and then of course to shop. And it's a range of shopping. I mean, in our malls, you'll do your everyday grocery shopping, and then you'll also buy your luxury handbag. So it's really a focal point. Now, I think that the advent of digital commerce is going to definitely take away some piece of offline retail, but we believe and we hope that it's actually going to all complement each other, and it's going to become a great ecosystem. Now, there will be some winners and losers in this. Some malls may not survive, but overall, we think that we'll get to a point where there's going to be, a great retail offering, both offline and online, for people to come and visit, and then across the region.
When you're looking at your portfolio of brands, and looking for new brands or shuffling the pack that you've got, what is it that you're looking for in terms of the brand that is something that you think can sustain a healthy business here in the region? Yeah,
well, it's important to bring a brand in that fits with the regional sensibilities. It's actually a challenging market to operate in because we have so many different profiles of consumers, from different sensibilities in terms of how they dress, in terms of how what perfumes they like, in terms of how they like to decorate their homes, through some of our gifting sectors. So it's such a diverse consumer, and we have to see whether that brand fits within this diversity and whether it has scalability. Because some brands would be great in Dubai because they really cater to a Western or tourist audience, and others really can cater to the region and can be scaled out. And then you also have to see with that brand if it has the right range to be scaled, and then you have to see whether that brand is already overly represented. I mean, is there some level of exclusivity? Can you have exclusive product? One of the things that we've focused on quite a bit in the last few years is building our own concepts. So our first original concept is called Tanagra, and we built it in the 70s. The first location was in Kuwait, and it has a range of very high-end gifting. But recently we've opened Level Shoes in Dubai Mall. It's the largest luxury shoe store in the world. We've opened Level Kids in City Walk, Triano, and in those department stores we carry a number of luxury brands, but the focus has been and will continue to be trying to introduce exclusive brands and also capsule collections, exclusive product for our consumers, because people are bored. Our consumers are bored. They want new things. Even though the economy is down, we believe that our consumers are still spending. We still see them spending on brands that they want, and when we speak with the global brands, we still see data that they're spending abroad. Some of our consumers in the Gulf are some of the highest per capita spenders of luxury in the world. And for us, it's not just about capturing their spend here, it's about capturing more of their wallet that they would have spent outside of this region. And how do we do that? We need fresh product, we need fresh concepts, and we need great customer service. We need excellent customer service.
So what's, in a sense, the relationship between you as maybe the franchise holder in the region and the franchisee itself? Is it becoming a much more collaborative relationship in order to ensure you get uniqueness and that there's differentiation?
It has to be. It has to be. And there has to be that close partnership, whether it's a franchise arrangement or whether it's a true joint venture partnership. So there's a lot of communication. The very best brands are here quite regularly or have representation in the region. Spend a lot of time with our commercial teams and our buying teams to get that feedback and be quick and reactive. And if they're not, then those brands just will have a hard time surviving.
The mall itself around the world, they're becoming more and more brands in their own right, as opposed to a place where brands are housed, and the relationship is changing. What do you see here in terms of the relationship between the mall owner and developer and the individual store owners?
I think the lines have been blurred and will continue to be blurred. Mall owners, first of all, I think mall owners here in some regards are very forward thinking in the sense that they have tried to get very involved in the process of attracting consumers into their malls, of animating their malls, of creating wonderful attractions. But mall owners are also seeing some benefit in partnering with brands and offering that opportunity. And in some cases it's working, and in some cases it's a struggle, because at the end of the day, there's a certain competency that you need to be able to operate retail stores. So the mall owners will have to develop more and more of that competency if they want to be in that business. But again, you're seeing some mall owners bring in brands as franchise partners. You're seeing other mall owners either through their corporate entity or on their own going into e-commerce and the digital platform in a very strong way. And I think Imar with Mohammed Alibar is a great example of that.
We've heard quite a lot of the conference over the last couple of days about the changing consumers. Finally, could you give us a view in the region here of what are the main drivers here of consumer change? So,
if we look at for us in the luxury sector, our core consumer would be people from the GCC. And we have seen an evolution where originally, as they were discovering new brands, there was a real affinity to franchise brands, to branding, to clear evidence that whatever they bought was obviously from that brand through logos.
So very much sort of badge branding, conspicuous consumption in a sense.
Conspicuous consumption, I think, is a great word for it. And then we've definitely, people in the region still love luxury brands, but we've seen an evolution. We've seen an evolution in terms of buying patterns. Yes, people still want to buy luxury brands, but they want to buy unique pieces. They want to buy pieces that look different. It doesn't necessarily need to be logoed. There's definitely been a huge move away from logo. There are very few luxury brands out there that actually still highlight that. And then there's also a move to supporting local creation, so supporting local designers and regional designers, because this offers something unique. And I think that that's where the move is going to go eventually for our sector. Originally we brought in brands, then we brought in franchised concepts, and the focus was making them look exactly like they would look anywhere else in the world. And now the focus is on creating and bringing original concepts. And then I think that's going to move to creating original product. And this is actually something that we've recently done. We created an Oriental fragrance product and store concept from scratch called Khawali. And you can visit some of our stores here in Dubai. And it's an Oriental fragrance line, so catering to our GCC consumer, but the product is made in France with, like any of the absolute top fragrance lines would be made in that same...
So should the big luxury international brands be worried with this move?
I think that the global luxury brands, if they want to continue to succeed in this region, the ones who are collaborating closely, the ones who are making the effort to really know this region and cater to it through the right product, the right service, are going to succeed. They're going to succeed. And the ones that just see this as a dumping ground where they can sell in product at extreme prices, they're going to have trouble.
Sharmila, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed for watching. This is just one of the interviews that we conducted at the World Retail Congress 2017 in Dubai, where we broadcast every night with an hours-long program. In order to see any of those programs or to watch any of the other interviews, just go to this website here. My name's David Roth from WPP. Thank you very much indeed for watching.